In this video, I want to show you how to round off numbers. In other words, we are simply talking of approximation. Now, approximation, this is simply trying to get the value or the number not exactly to what it is. For example, if I tell you to approximate how many days are in 100 years, you cannot just there and then give me the correct answer. You approximate by simply give me a certain number which is at least close to the number of years, but not exactly the number of days. So that is the approximation. So in this scenario, we are simply going to round off numbers. Okay, we are going to round off numbers, and in so doing, there are some rules that you need to know in order for you to round off successfully. Number one rule is simply says, if the first digit to be left out is 5 or more, then add 1 to the previous digit. So if the first digit that I want to leave and it is 5, then it means that that number that I want to leave, I should get 1 and add to the previous digit. But if it is less than 5, leave the previous digit as it is. For example, if it's 4, leave 4 the way it is, don't round off anything. So in this scenario, let me just try to demonstrate here. We are simply saying, if I'm given these digits 4, 5, and 6 and 4, then I'm told to round off this digit in 1, 2, 3, three significant figures. All you need to do is to look at this 4 which is here. Is this 4 greater than 5? No, but it is less than 5. So leave this 6 the way it is. Leave this 4 the way it is. So it will only be 4, 5, 6, just like that. But if it is in this situation where you have 4, 5, 6, 5, okay, and you are taught to round off to 3 significant figures just like this one, you look at this 5 which is here. This is greater than 5, so it means that I'll add 1 to the previous value, which is this one. So it will be 4, 5, 7. You can see this. This simply means that it is 1, 2, 3, 3 significant figures, and we have rounded it off. So this is what actually it means by these two rules. Now let's look at rounding off to a number of decimal place. Rounding off to a number of decimal place. Example, round off 0.3643 to 2 decimal places. So we are trying to round off this one to 2 decimal places. So how do we round off to 2 decimal places? How many decimal places, first of all, are here? There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 decimal places. Now they want 2. So in order for us to round off to 2 decimal places, all we need to do, it is simply going to count. How many decimal places do we want? Start from left going right. So this is a decimal point, 1, 2. We want 2. So 0.36, we put a demarcation 43 there. Look at these two. These are the ones that I want to leave. So you look at this digit which is here. Is this digit greater than or equal to 5? No, it is not. It is less than 5. So it means that this 6 won't be affected. But in other words, it will just remain to be 0.36. So this is in 2 decimal places. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. This one, how many decimal places are here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 decimal places. And they want us to leave this to 3 decimal places. So we are going to write it down. 6.123. So 4, 6, 8. Put a demarcation there to show that these 3 are the decimal places they want. Now you look at this digit that you are about to leave, this one. Is it equal to 5 or greater than 5? It is greater than 5. So it means that I can get 1 and put there. So it will be 6.469. So this now, it is in 3 decimal places. So this is how you round off to a number of decimal places. Now let's look at how to round off to the nearest 10, 100 or 1000 etc. Let's look at that. So how do we round off the following? So we are going to look at round off to the nearest 10, 100 and 1000. Example, round off to the nearest 10. So rounding off these digits to the nearest 10 is very simple. All you need to do is to consider the following. They are just going to say, okay, I want to the nearest 10. They are saying we round off to the nearest 10. So to the nearest 10, we start counting from the left side going to the, from the right going to the left. That is how we are going to identify the digit that is needed. So in this case, we are going to identify it by writing 10 from the left, from the right going to the left. So we are going to write 0 there and 1. So this is our 10. So meaning where there is 1, it is a digit of value. So we are going to leave this digit. So we are going to put a demarcation where there is between 1 and 0, we put a demarcation. And the number on top of 0, it is the number that we are leaving out. So you look at this number. Is it equal to 5 or greater than 5? It is greater than 5. So if it is greater than 5, in this case, to the nearest 10, it will be 470. So this will be to the nearest 10. You are done, just like that. So you come to this one as well. You just write from this side 0 and 1. Now put a demarcation just in between 1 and 0. The number that is on top of 1 is a number of value. But the number on top of 0, it is the number we are leaving out. So in this case, we are leaving out 3. Now, is 3 equal to 5 or greater than 5? Is less than 5. So we are going to leave this 4 without changing it. So it will only be 2, 5, 4, 0. Okay, so this will be our final answer, just like that. So this goes on to 100 and 1000. So when you come to this one, we are going to say we want to round off to the nearest 100. So we are going to write 0, 0, 1. So meaning that we are putting the demarcation between 0, 1 and 0. So we are going to put the demarcation there. So this 3 and 0 we don't want. The number of significant is 6. So we look at this 3. Is this 3 we are trying to leave out equal to 5 or less than 5? It's less than 5. So this 6 won't change. Instead, it will only be 6, 0, 0. Just like that. Same applies with this one. Just write 0, 0, 1. You put a demarcation in between 1 and 0. And you have, is this greater than 5 or equal to 5? Is equal to 5. So this case, it will be 9. I mean zeros to zeros, 0, 0. So you know this is rounded off to the nearest 100. Then we move on to the next value, round off to the nearest 1000. So the same process happens to everything. So I'm just going to write 0, 0, 0, 1. So we put a demarcation in between 1 and 0. Then we know that 580 should be zeros, but we are leaving out 5. Is 5 equal to 5 or greater than 5? Is equal to 5. So we are going to add 1 there. So it will be 6, 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 0. So this will be our answer. Now we come to this one. We are going to write 0 there, 0, 0, and 1. We put a demarcation between 1 and 0, and we can clearly see that before 5, there is an empty space, which means it's a 0. So in this case, we are going to add, this is a 0, which is here. So this is 5, so we are going to add 1 to 0, and it will cease from being 0, but it will be 1000. So this is the answer. So once we do this to the nearest 10, 100, 1000, and also to the nearest, we're writing in the decimals, then it means to the nearest decimal, given decimal, then it means that we should now move on to the next stage, which is trying to find now, rounding off to the given number of significant figures. Since we know what a significant figure is, so let's try to round off numbers now to a given number of significant figures. Let's see. Let's write the question somewhere. Okay, so rounding off to a number of significant figure. So now we know what significant figures are. We looked at that in the previous video. So if you haven't watched the previous video, I would recommend you go and watch it first. And therefore now these significant figures, it will make sense. So let's start. Example, round off 2, 4, 6, 3 to 3 significant figures. So how many significant figures are here? Remembering the rule which states that all non-zero digits are significant. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 significant figures, but they just want 3. So what we are going to do is simple. We are going to write 2, 4, 6, 3. And we know that in the previous video, we learned that in order for you to tell the significant figures, you start counting from left going to right. That's how you know the number of significant figures. So we say 1, 2, 3. Where there is number 3 is, we put a demarcation there. And now we look at this number. Is this number equal to 5? No, it's less than 5. So meaning that it will only be 2, 4, 6. Okay, 2, 4, 6. Just like that, then you have your answer to number of significant figures. Okay, so 2, 4, 6. If you want now, if you can put 0 this side, but this 0 will still not be significant. So we are done to 3 significant figures. Then we move on to the next one. Rounding off this one to 2 significant figures. So it simply means to 2 significant figures. Let me write it here, 0, 6, 0, 4, 6. To 2 significant figures, I start counting. 0 is not significant and 0 is not significant because we learned that zeros before non-zero digits are not significant. And zeros in between non-zero digits are significant. So this 0 is not significant and this one, but this one is significant because it's in between non-zero digits. So we're going to start counting from here. 1, 2, 3. They want 2 significant figures. So it's 1, 2. We are going to put a demarcation there like that. So once you do that, my dear friends, then now you can easily identify the significant figures that you want. In this case, they want how many significant figures? 2. So, which is 6. We can put the 0 there, point there, 0, like that. Okay, so once that is done, we move on to the next one. We are rounding off this one to how many significant figures? To 4 significant figures. So we are going to write it 10.5660 to 4 significant figures. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. We put a demarcation there, and this is 6, so it will be 10.57. Okay, so this is to 4 significant figures. These are significant. 7, 5, 1, 0. These are significant figures. So you write your answer just like that. Let's try to add the last one. Let's say, for example, we are also given another one which we are going to call D. So let's say this one. They are saying we should round off this number to 3 significant figures. So we are going to say 1, 2, 3. This 0 is significant because it's in between non-zero digits. So it means that it will be significant. So we are going to write 56.0464. 1, 2, 3. We put a demarcation. 4 is less than 5, so it will only be 56.0. So this is according to 3 significant figures. Okay, hopefully I've made this clear and you are able to understand and follow. So this is good for your examination. It comes in paper 1 ECZ exams. It comes in paper 1 and it carries 1 mark. So it's just a matter of you knowing the concept and apply it as easy as it looks. So this is about significant figures and also rounding off numbers to the nearest, rounding off numbers. This is about it. So the next lesson now, we shall look at how to write numbers in standard form. How to write numbers in standard form. For now, we end just here. Bye-bye.